Yes. What is going on, LBHT crew? B, what is going on?
None. Well, a little worried about this weekend since the Panthers are actually favored to win for the first time in just over 2 years, or about 2 years. So
Yeah.
a little wary of that. But
That means
otherwise,
that's a sign the Panthers are on the way back. They're not back yet.
back on the prowl.
Back on the prowl. Oh, I like that. Back on the prowl. Look who's here, Mr. Troublemaker. Rave Kingdom. What's going on? Says happy to see the community has my back.
all in that AI description of that video.
Listen, shout out to Ray Kingdom, man. Thanks for coming through. Listen, Ravens organization. The thoughts and actions of Rave Kingdom do not necessarily reflect those of this show. We are open to future sponsorships with you. Okay, all right. Play Ben Cleveland. Okay, play Ben Cleveland. That's all he was trying to say. Matt D's in the house. What's going on? Says you won't be kicked out of here, Rave. That is facts.
I don't know. I don't know what Danny's going to do.
Well, yes, that's true. We don't have full control of that.
That's between y'all.
We got Big Reg in the house. Says, "What's up, my good peoples? What's up, Big Reg? Appreciate you coming through." Felipe Moreno's in the house. Says, "Allen winning MVP after the Rams game, or Lamar can still win? Can Lamar still get MVP?" I mean,
I'd like to remind people again that the Bills lost that game.
Yeah, they lost, and he still has less touchdowns and yards than Lamar, I believe.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah, I mean, okay, all right.
But they're 2 games better than Baltimore, though.
They are 2 games better,
but Baltimore just stomped them out. So whatever.
Yeah. So, I mean, we'll talk about it. DDSQ's in the house. Salute. Says, "What's good, y'all? What's good, DDSQ? Pay the bills in the house. Shout out to y'all." Says, "What up, though? What up? What up?" We got our guy Coach in the house. Salute, Coach. Appreciate you coming through. Coach has been putting out a lot of content, so I hope you guys are subscribed and checking them out. Sip to Tally Films. He just did a video with Engraven yesterday. He did a video with what's that YouTuber's name? I'm sorry.
That YouTuber, I don't know.
I'm sorry, Coach. He's a fairly new Ravens YouTuber. I checked out some of his work. I think I subscribed. I forget the name. I'm sorry. I'm old. Okay, I'm old. All right. What do you want from me? Adelia, what's going on, Adelia?
What's up, Adelia?
Oh, we got a super chat.
We got a super chat from Rave Kingdom. Thank you very much for the $2 donation. He says LBHT show, higher show, Ben Cleveland.
You know, Rave Kingdom. That's where you messed up. Had you put Ben Cleveland in the super chat, they wouldn't have kicked you out. Okay, there you go. We got Yolanda in the house. What's going on, Yolanda?
What's up, Yolanda?
She says, "Hello, everyone." Yolanda and Hendo from the Row Pod have been putting out daily content. They have a 30 or 31 day challenge to put out content.
December, so 31.
Yep, all of December. So subscribe to both of them and check out the content because you won't get that anywhere else. Definitely not here.
No. We are actually one more show away from our winter break. So
don't worry, we're going to leave you with some content. Don't worry, okay? But yes, it won't be live. Hey, you guys like the Thanksgiving special that we did. So we're definitely gonna have something for Christmas because we're not going live on Christmas. That is on Wednesday, I believe.
It is on a Wednesday. And then my birthday is on the 28th, so we will not be going live that weekend either. We will see y'all in the new year, though.
We will have some content out. Don't worry. Okay, we're not going to leave you with nothing, especially if this deal goes down.
All I want for my birthday is to not make any videos for the rest of December.
Well, I hate to break it to you. We might have some good news. Bad news for you.
That's January. That's not December.
We'll see. We'll see.
You see, okay? but you know, like how do you get to where Yolanda is at without being able to listen? I said birthday very clearly I will not be streaming this
Hey,
week.
I'll tell you what. Donations can go a long way towards B's attitude towards streaming on his birthday. It definitely could.
It could, but we'll see.
Last year, you guys blessed me with some cookie money for my birthday. It was greatly appreciated. All right. I talked about the different types of cookies I like. Shout out to Wegmans with their $15 cookies. Ridiculously expensive, but very delicious. All right.
Danity, if you're in here, get Jay the hell out of our chat.
No, you can't get Jay out.
Ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous.
What?
He needs to learn to behave himself if he wants to stay around.
Got to have content for the heavyweight rematch. Which heavyweight rematch?
Wow. Fury and Usyk, December 21st.
Yeah, we might have to bring Ring Kings back. Okay, it's been too long. All right, the channel is not dead. We still have it going on. I was just waiting for Mikey to kind of get through this basketball season that he's coaching right now. But I think it's time. It's time to give the people what they asked for. All right, man. Appreciate y'all coming through. Killer Cam's in the house. Says Ola Jose, Ola Killer. I don't see the Mucho Gusto Brodny anywhere. Oh,
it's right there.
Oh, there it is. There it is. Mucho Gusto Brodny.
Nice to meet you, Cam. Jay, don't leave. We don't want you to leave. Just behave.
Deshaun, what's going on? Says that will be a good news at the Ravens can pick him up. Pick who up?
Somebody was talking about Calais Campbell getting cut, which is not going to happen.
Just because somebody gets cut and they have a name doesn't mean that they're a good fit for us. All right. This Ravens flock says, "Sup guys? First time in the chat.
Well,
what's up with you? Thanks for coming through.
Chat.
Yeah, appreciate you.
Appreciate it.
It doesn't mean it's a bad pickup either. I'm just saying,
yeah.
Is that going to move the needle for what we need?
Nah.
I don't know. All right. Last week I made a mistake of saying this is going to be a short stream, and we stream for almost 2 hours. So I'm not going to say that this week. Okay.
Good.
But we have some topics. We're going to get through them in an orderly fashion.
We have some private goals that we would like to hit for tonight.
Yes.
We're gonna keep those private for now, but we'll see.
Yes, so we're gonna get the show started, but first, we like to start every show with the Black History Fact, and B has a Black History Fact for you.
Welcome to this week's Black History Fact. Nicky Giovanni, born Yolande Cornelia Giovanni Jr. on June 7, 1943 in Knoxville, Tennessee, was a celebrated poet, writer, and activist. She rose to fame during the Black Arts Movement in the late 1960s and 1970s, and her work often focused on civil rights and social justice issues. Growing up in Cincinnati, Ohio, and Knoxville, Tennessee, Giovanni showed early academic promise. She attended Fisk University in Nashville and graduated with honors in 1967. She self-published her first poetry collections, Black Feeling, Black Talk, and Black Judgment, in 1968. Throughout her career, Giovanni published over 30 books, ranging from poetry collections to children's literature and essays. Her dynamic public readings attracted large audiences. Notable works include Ego Tripping, Gemini, and Love Poems. She was also a regular on the TV show Soul and conducted a famous interview with James Baldwin in 1971. Giovanni taught at several institutions, including Rutgers University, Queens College, and Virginia Tech, where she became a university distinguished professor. Over her career, Giovanni received many accolades, including 7 NAACP Image Awards, the Langston Hughes Award, and the Maya Angelou Lifetime Achievement Award. She was also nominated for a Grammy and an Emmy, and earned 31 honorary doctorates. As a single mother to her son Thomas, and later married to her longtime partner Virginia C. Fowler, Giovanni balanced her personal life with her professional achievements. She passed away on December 9th, 2024, at the age of 81, leaving a lasting impact through her powerful poetry and advocacy. Nikki Giovanni's legacy continues to inspire, celebrating Black culture, resilience, and the complexities of the human experience.
Salute to Nikki Giovanni. All right, passed away. Was it 2 days ago?
Yeah.
81 just seems like too young nowadays.
It does. It does indeed. Well, not according to Jay. Jay said 81 is a good life.
Not saying she didn't have a good life. She had an amazing life. I just feel like, nowadays you should easily be able to live to 100. Like that should be more of the norm, at least in your 90s. You know. So, but when it's your time, it's your time. Yes. R.I.P. Nikki. All right. All right. Where is Danny? We need to get the robot out of here. All right. Say hashtag 2-hour stream.
Be your own people.
How dare you, sir? How dare you? What's going on, Hendo? All right.
Or maybe he's saying that's what him and Yolanda are going to do following the show.
Oh.
Because nobody loves to stream more than the Rogue Pod.
Facts.
Like he be streaming every day.
Every day. Okay. He loves it so much, it might go past December.
Probably.
All right. Let's get this started. All right.
I guess if we have to.
Yes, the Ravens did not have a great showing the last time we saw them. Complete special teams blunder. Okay. Yes. Justin Tucker got a lot of blame, most of the blame for his missed kicks, as he should. But it wasn't just him. Okay. That punter. Okay. That stupid punter.
Not that fourth rounder.
That fourth round pick. That was one of many fourth round picks that we just had to hold on to. We couldn't trade any of them. We couldn't trade any of those picks to move up in the draft. Not a single one. We had to stay right there and draft all 4 of those picks, and he was one of them. He killed
Didn't even get the
us.
best punter in the draft.
We didn't get the punt god. Although the punt god had some legal issues that he had to take care of.
He did, and now he's a better punter than the one you have.
We should have been quick on picking him up afterwards, right? Because he was out of a job. All that got cleared up. We should have been like, hey, you know what?
I'll tell you what. Marquette King's still available.
I'll take him.
Jordan Stout. He's been blackballed for the past, I don't know how many years.
Why? Because he likes to have fun. Jordan Stout is awful, ladies and gentlemen. And he's awful because we're talking about him. All right. Mm-hmm. There's only 2 times you talk about punters. When they're great or when they're dumpster fire, like Urban says right here. Okay. That's the only 2 times you talk about punters.
And honestly, most of the time, not when they're great.
Right. Yeah. You gotta be Ray Guy great. But for us to talk about you right now, you are doing a beyond terrible job, because there are bad punters out there, but it's whatever. But you're killing us. You're killing us. So complete special teams blunder. All right. The offensive line showed you who they were. This is the thing that we were worried about, is that the offensive line can get marginally better, but won't get good enough. Now, granted, Philly has an excellent D-line. Okay. Mm-hmm. And even with a good offensive line, that's hard to deal with. Right. But we have to, moving forward, play mistake-free football. Not that they're not talented, right? Or as talented. They're not, You know, they may not be physically gifted like some of these other linemen are, but they have the functional strength. They have the baseline of ability. Now it's about discipline, and that's where coaching comes in. The false starts, the pre-snap, the pre-snap penalties.
Mm-hmm.
You know, those are things that you can control, right? You might give up a sack. You may not always have the perfect block. You might be like Falele and not know who to block. But you can clean up the penalties. And if we can be more disciplined on that end, that gives us a much better shot of success. All right.
I just want to leave my man Falele alone. Y'all keep talking about, oh, he's not blocking anybody. He's just out there watching. Everybody runs away from him. Okay, they're scared. They're scared to take him on.
Yeah, you know what?
And they're just trying to draw him out. They want him to chase somebody down, so it opens up a giant hole in the line. He's doing what he's supposed to be doing. All right, he's standing there and he's protecting Lamar. Okay. Well, he's staying ready to protect Lamar.
Nitro said Jose could beat 77. No, I can't. I've seen him up close. Do not get it twisted.
You know how long it takes to run around Daniel Falele?
Yeah. Trust me, there is a soul watching this that can get around Falele. All right, it takes an NFL caliber defensive lineman to get around him, even if he's standing there, even if he has his back turned to you. You're not getting around him. I promise you. Okay.
Oh, we got an announcement in the chat there. It looks like 45-minute stream 2 days in a row for a total of 1 hour and 30 minutes. That's a promise from Yolanda.
There you go. Well, you know they're going to stream, right? Or well, not. It's not necessarily stream, right? They're just putting out content. Like I know they put out.
They've been streaming quite a bit. They love the live stream.
Yeah. So, all right. So,
yes, Tommy DeVito. Starting for the Giants and had an immediate effect. I'm sorry to cut you off. I'm sorry.
No.
Tommy Cutlets was announced as the starter for this game for the Giants, and immediately the line went up to 11.5 in favor of the Ravens. It went up, I think, by 3 points once they announced that Tommy Cutlets is going to be the starter, and I think that is unnecessarily disrespectful to that young man.
I don't typically, even in teams as bad as the Giants, I don't typically like to overlook these games or overlook the opponent, especially for the Ravens, because we fall asleep at the wheel. But given the urgency, I would say I don't say they have to win out, but we have to perform, right? Like it's time for us to show that we're that type of team. I look at this team this game more so as, I don't want to call it practice, but like we have to clean some things up. This is a game. This is a get right game.
They are an NFL franchise, sir.
Yeah,
you can't call them practice.
I didn't say practice. I said a get right game. I said I don't want to call them practice.
You said you don't want to call them practice, which means you are in fact calling them practice.
That's not what
you cannot do that. You cannot call them practice.
This is a get right game. No, seriously. Like obviously they're favored to win. They should win the game. But they can't look bad in the game. They can't struggle. The Chiefs can keep stumbling to a victory every week because they keep doing it. They're 11-1 or something like that. They can look like they win on accident every single week because they keep winning.
Yeah.
Right. And they're the defending Super Bowl champions, so you can't say anything about them. You know they can turn it on. They know they can turn it on. We don't know that. Our team doesn't know that. Doesn't matter what kind of lip service they give you. They don't know, right? They haven't done it.
They're questioning that themselves.
They have to build that confidence. So they have to turn it around. And we've seen this all throughout history. Like Super Bowl winning teams towards, they don't always look great throughout the season, but they start to turn it on towards the end of the season and make a run in the playoffs. This is our time to do that. Take care of business, lock in, and get ready for the Steelers after that, and then the Texans after that, and then the Browns after that, and then be ready to go in the playoffs. I know Lamar Jackson is. Lamar Jackson said he didn't even want to take the bye week. He was ready to go. He can't be the only person with that type of mentality on the team. is what I'm saying. I don't think he is, but the coach has to match that intensity.
And he never will. That's not in him. Malik Neighbors going for 250 on y'all.
That's gonna be a problem.
Yeah, I'm interested to see, and not that Tommy DeVito and the Giants can really test this, but I'm interested to see if the last couple of weeks the improvement in the defense is just a kind of a reflection of the opponents or an actual improvement. Because the Eagles have AJ Brown, right, but they don't throw the ball very often at all because they have Saquon Barkley. Jalen Hurts is out there throwing it like 19 times a game. So they don't throw for very many yards. The team, who was it the week before, didn't really have much wide receiver talent. The Chargers,
they're
out there. I mean, Ladd McConkey, he's a good rookie. Quentin Johnston, not very good. Their receiving talent isn't great. Is what I'm just gonna say. And so it could be that maybe they had a couple of easier matchups. And they were able to perform better, or maybe they are actually turning things around. Like I said, you're not necessarily going to get the answer to that this week, unless, like I said, Malik Neighbors does go for 250. Then you have your answer. But you always want to see them kind of continue that trend. It's just like me watching Carolina right now. I'm not looking for wins. I'm looking for Bryce Young to continue the trend of him playing well and kind of playing better each week. That's kind of what I want to see out of Baltimore. I don't really have any doubts about the offense in this particular game. I know they should be able to go out there and run over New York, no question, with Henry and Justice. And I'd like to see them get Keaton Mitchell on the field still. But I don't think they should have any problems on that side of the ball.
And Derrick Henry just got a little bit faster, right?
Derrick Henry may have lost his powers. May have lost what made him special.
We'll find out.
Locks. That's you don't make that change mid-season when you're having the best year of your career.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of that.
I told Hedda he's going to show up looking like Ron Dane on Sunday.
But Saquon surpassed him, so he's like, I got to do something a little different. So it's that mid-season adjustment. That's what's going on. All right, yeah. Lamar and Derek joined the 99 club. I don't care about Madden. I don't care about Madden. I tried to play it the other day, and I was just like, it's not there for me anymore. Yeah. But that's great. I guess. They're going to handle business. It's just how do they look though? They can't go out there and look sloppy, especially off of bye.
Normally they have it together after buys though. Under Harbaugh, they win a very high percentage coming off of their bye. So I'm not really questioning whether or not they're going to win this game. I think they're going to win it comfortably. And they just need to be. Well, they don't need to be focused on Pittsburgh. They need to focus on this week and then move on to Pittsburgh. Focusing on Pittsburgh is how you lose to the Giants in the first place. But I don't really think it's going to be a problem. Yeah,
Pittsburgh has a tough matchup this week. They're playing the Eagles. Right?
Yeah.
So, and this could be an opportunity for us to get back into it. They could beat the Eagles. Pittsburgh's good. We got to admit that. But if they fall to the Eagles and then they lose to us the following week, I think we still might be like a half game behind.
I know if you beat them next week and they lose this week, they would be tied. And then I don't know what the tiebreaker goes to after that, but they're 2 games up right now.
Okay, all right. So we just got to handle business from here on out, and there's a good chance that we see them again in the playoffs. Right? We'll talk more about the playoffs in a couple of weeks to see what it's kind of shaping out to be. But I'll tell you what, man. I said it before. I'll say it again. I want to see the Bills again in the playoffs. The Bills are a hot team, and I like the Bills. I like Josh Allen, but the way we handled them earlier in the season, I just don't feel like I could be wrong. I've been wrong before, but I just don't feel like the Bills can do anything to change that.
Are they a hot team? Because I didn't even realize this until we were talking about it yesterday. They have beaten 2 teams this season who currently have winning records.
Really?
Just 2.
Which 2? Chiefs. Chiefs is 1.
The Chiefs are 1. I cannot remember the other off the top of my head. I'll have to pull it up here.
Well, we'll find out. We'll find out this week. Don't they play the Lions?
They do, I believe.
We're gonna find out. All right. If the Lions
So
blow them out,
here are their wins. They've beaten Arizona, Miami, Jacksonville, the Jets, Tennessee, Seattle, Miami, the Colts, Kansas City, and San Francisco. That's who they've beaten this season.
Now I know. I you read all of them. Who's the other team with the winning record?
I just read it. I don't even know.
Yeah. I think it's Seattle.
It very well may be. But a lot of those teams are like right around 500, one game under. Yeah, Seattle's 8-5. The Rams are now 7-6, so they lost that one. Obviously, the Niners are a game under. The Cardinals are a game under. So I mean, the Dolphins are a game under. They beat them twice.
And they beat the Niners without Brock Purdy, without
the Colts are a game under. So
yeah,
not really a lot of impressive wins on that list.
I mean, look, you play who's in front of you, okay? And I mean, and to their credit, they won those games. We didn't always win those games. We got 5 losses. I mean, they weren't all to good teams or winning teams.
No, they weren't.
You know,
none of them were to the Bills, though.
None of them were to the Bills. So, but no, that I just think we match up well against them. Obviously, it's no shade to them, but you know, if we look at who's currently in the playoffs, the Chiefs. I want to beat the Chiefs in Kansas City. I think we can beat the Chiefs. I think they're beatable, but you know, we haven't beaten them. You know, they seemingly have our number. The Steelers are always tough. Doesn't matter how good or bad which team either team is. It always comes down to like a field goal. Yeah. So that's always going to be a nerve-wracking game. Who else is in the playoffs right now?
You got Houston, Chargers, and the Broncos.
Not worried about any of those teams.
Rude. Okay, very rude. Houston's gonna see you in a couple weeks anyway. All right, so they'll take care of that themselves. Denver, I mean, all right, you know, I should have Denver, but they're having a great season considering where they are with their rookie quarterback and all that. The Chargers, listen, you only beat the Chargers because J.K. Dobbins got hurt.
He's still hurt, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
But and he may not be coming back. I don't know. But still, they're a completely different team with J.K. Dobbins in there as opposed to Gus Edwards being the running back. Which is weird because I heard Gus Edwards was like this top 15, top 20 back. Has not really looked that way since he's left the confines of Ravens fandom. But that's all right. You know, maybe he's just having a down year.
Osmond says, I guess that means Allen is the MVP. I mean, they're going to push that. I don't even care, right? Like, yes, I would love Lamar to get a third MVP, a back-to-back MVP. But he's got 2 MVPs. Most people don't get that. Yeah. I want him to get a Super Bowl MVP. And that's all Lamar is worried about. Now, he's playing the best out of all the quarterbacks in the league, right? Mm-hmm. All together. I don't think he leads. I think Jared Goff leads in touchdowns by like 1 or 2, I want to say.
I'm not even sure if he does. I thought Joe Burrow did, but I could be wrong.
Burrow, I can't remember. But I mean, Lamar's up there. He's like 2nd or 3rd, right? And he's up there for yards as well. No, he's playing great. Even in these losses, he's you know, he doesn't.
Yeah,
even
Burrow has 33 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. Lamar has 29 touchdowns, 3 interceptions.
Okay. Yeah.
So Burrow is first in yards and touchdowns.
Yeah. Yeah, Burrow's having a great year. Just not his team.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Jamar Chase. That sucks, man, because they're not doing anything wrong. They're not playing bad. They just
those two
win the games. Yeah. They almost lost to the Cowboys. I couldn't believe it. And we're going to talk about the Cowboys in a minute. Because I have a feeling that game is not going to look like last week's game. Speaking of, did you guys watch that Simpsons game?
I watched some of it, yeah.
Terrible.
Yeah. Terrible. My thing is, I don't know who the audience is for that. Because, like,
yeah.
little kids aren't really, like you said, little kids aren't watching The Simpsons. Like they don't really know those characters. And Simpsons is about, I don't know, 15 years past his prime at this point. Adults who were really into The Simpsons, like it was funny for a minute, and then like even your son, my nephew, was like, "Can we put on the game?"
Right? Can we watch real football? I thought it was going to be like they had like the game, and especially with AI now, that they would have like characters animated over some of the players or something like that.
They
That's
did
why.
it occasionally. They would put him in whenever there was a big play. They would put like Lisa was Jamar Chase on his 40-yard touchdown.
It just wasn't good enough.
No, it was.
And yes, like who is the audience that you're catering to there, right? What are you laughing at? Jay says, "I saw Lisa burn everybody up the sideline." Yeah,
Yes, it did.
yeah. Just Alla, what's going on? Says Lamar might not care about the MVP, but I do. I want him to win the Super Bowl and MVP. Me too. Don't get it wrong. Like I want him to win both as well. I think he's the best player in the league, and it's one of those things.
What's up,
What's
Noah?
up?
No
No
Simpsons
Simpsons
slander
slander
allowed.
allowed. Okay, all right, fair enough. Fair enough. All right. Um, it's one of those things. If you're the best, you're the best.
Yeah.
Right. I don't care. It's not taking turns. Right. Oh, you won it last year. He can't win it again. Yeah, he can.
Yeah.
He's the best player in the league. Keep giving it to him why he's the best player in the league.
Like the last couple of weeks, we've been talking about, oh man, Lamar's not playing that well. Some people in Ravens flock have been saying he's been terrible and he's costing. And I look at it and he's got 29 touchdowns and 3 interceptions, and then almost 700 yards rushing and another 3 or 4 touchdowns there. So I don't know if that's what playing bad looks like for your QB. Then yes, he's the MVP.
Right. Like if he doesn't play great or doesn't have a perfect game, then it's hey, he didn't play well, or he's the reason why we lost the game. I've heard people say that, which just goes to tell you how little talent we still have on this team. All right, if it's still coming down to Lamar and how he's playing when he doesn't play bad, that tells you we don't have enough talent surrounding him.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see. Lamar clearly having his best season. Any quarterback, he deserves it. Yeah, I agree. All 3 interceptions bounced off his receiver's hands. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
To be fair, he's had a couple of interceptable passes.
Yeah.
So I guess it balances out. Yeah. All right. So we all agree. The Ravens should handle business on Sunday. It should be a good stream afterwards. Quick stream. Lots of things. Lots of good points to talk about. Right. And we should be quick and we should be out of here. It's usually when we lose, when we have those long streams and everybody wants to vent. All right. So Lamar winning MVP will just aggravate the haters. Good.
And speak of the devil. Big Red says the Giants win this week with Tommy Cutlets.
I know what Big Red is doing. Okay,
I know he's doing too. He's hating.
He's not hating.
You don't need reverse psychology on the Giants. They're the Giants.
It's for him. Okay, because he believes anytime he roots for them, they lose. So he's like, I'm going to do the opposite. I'm not going to root for them anymore, and they're going to win every single game. NDT Sports, what's good? Salute to you. Thanks for coming through. All right, 70 people in here. Hit that like button. All right, if you're new here, hit that subscribe button. I think we had 2,200 subscribers. There were 2 haters that unsubscribed, so that we're at we're at 2198. Okay, don't be that guy, Suge. All right. Suge says he does that sometimes. He'll unsubscribe and subscribe just to mess with us. That's all good. It's all good. Hit that subscribe button. Also, guys, Christmas is around the corner. Yeah. All right. And I know all of you haven't done your shopping. Okay. Well, we got you covered over here. We got you covered. You like what we're wearing? right? You like what B's wearing? It's cold outside. Not today. It was like 60 degrees outside. It's ridiculous. But you got to be prepared. On the East Coast now, especially in Maryland, because one day it could be 30 degrees, the next day it could be 65. You got to have both outfits. But we got you covered. LBHTShow.com/shop. All right. We have all kinds of things on there. Go over there to the store, check it out. If we had our other setup, I need to get it all set up. I can show you all the nice pictures and everything that we have. I can show you the sad model that we used to have that, he was happy to put on the shirt, but when we told him he had to give it back, he blew up his face. But shout out to Noah for $4 donation. Says LBHT crew for life. Appreciate you, Noah.
Thank you, Noah.
But yes, LBHTShow.com/shop. Like it says right there. Perfect timing. All right. Check out the merch. That beanie right there is a hot item. Okay. Go check it out, man. And also give the gift of Patreon. Patreon.com/LBHTShow. All right. We do the overtime show. Today is a little bit of an open mic night. We're going to talk about the CEO shooter. All right. He's from the Baltimore area. And we'll talk a little Jay-Z. There's some serious allegations against Jay-Z. We'll talk about that and anything else you want to talk about. That'll be on the overtime show. Patreon.com/LBHTShow is where you can find us for as little as $5 a month. You can gift memberships to people as well. Okay. I know you guys like gifting memberships with YouTube. Gift it with Patreon. Much better. Okay. And we give you a lot more over there. Let's see. ZTB says our defense is bad, but the worst part is this is what I expected. This if we defunded the defense, they are going to spend even more on the defense now. Ravens are going shopping on defensive players. Yeah. So when we say hashtag defund the defense, and people are like, "Yo, can't let the defense slide," right? Can't let it slide. Well, we're here now, and we spent all the money on defense.
Mm-hmm.
And now you're realizing, no, actually, we need Lamar in the offense to be good, right? Because even as bad as the defense is, we have aspirations to win the Super Bowl, right? And nobody's going to call this defense a good defense. All we'll say is they're playing better, but nobody's going to call them good.
Yeah. So,
yes, and I agree with you. They'll probably spend money on defense because they don't change their ways. They don't learn the lessons, EDC and Harbaugh, all right? But this year, more than anything, has shown you stop putting your money on that side of the ball and get your offense right. So, but, we don't make any decisions over there, all right? All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's get over to the favorites this week, Carolina Panthers. Hey, I want to take somewhat of a victory lap here, okay? Because no, they lost the last 3 games. 2 games.
last 2 games.
Lost the last 2 games. However, they could have easily won those games and been on a 5-game win streak right now, right? And last week, those there were some Eagles trolls in here that were like, we don't know football because we said it was going to be a competitive game. And not only was it a competitive game, the Panthers should have flat out won.
Yeah. And no, it is 3 games in a row they've lost. I forgot about Tampa.
Yes. Yeah.
Chiefs, Bucks, and Eagles.
Yes.
They've played well in all 3 of those games. They should have won all 3 of those games. And had they won all 3 of those games, they'd be sitting very well positioned to win their division this year, which sounds pretty ridiculous for a team that's 3-10. But they stuck with. I don't want to say they stuck with Bryce. They had a series of fortunate events which led to Bryce being reinserted into the starting lineup, and Bryce has taken advantage of it. He's come out and hasn't looked back. Right, he's playing confidently. He before he was very hesitant. He wasn't making his decisions quickly. Wasn't trusting his decisions. Wasn't putting everything into every throw. And he is now. Right, and he's playing really, really well. This week, man, I don't like this week because I've enjoyed the last 3 weeks where they've played well. They've come close to winning. They showed their potential, but they still maintain their draft position. This week they might flat out get a win. They're sort of favored to win. They're favored by 1.5, but they're at home. Home teams typically get 3 points just for playing at home. So it's kind of saying, Dallas is really favored by 1.5, but whatever. Dallas is garbage. And, if they don't really kind of circle the wagons and step it up, Carolina might get that elusive 4th win that no one really wants.
I mean, Panthers fans want it. I mean, I looked at some of these other streams. Shout out to Aaron Duncan from Unnecessary Bluntness. Shout out to Rashada and Dave, from Panthers Nation podcast. They want those wins. All right, they feel sick about those losses. They want the Panthers to win, and I get it because, if they don't get a top 10 pick, it's not the end of the world.
I would ask, particularly, Mr. Duncan. I know that he's a big time fan of Abdul Carter, and as he should be. Would you want to trade Abdul Carter for a win over the Cowboys? I wouldn't.
Right.
I don't care about getting a 4th win in a season that's over. I don't want to trade him for that. I don't want to trade Mason Graham for beating Dallas. I don't want to trade the possibility, however slight it may be, of Travis Hunter for beating the Cowboys in mid-December. I don't care. Like, yeah, you in the moment you enjoy watching the team win. I was upset when Xavier Legette dropped that ball. I wanted to see him catch it. Not even just for the Panthers to win, but for him too.
For him,
because he's had a rough go this season. But ultimately, Drake fan was right. Fumble that ball, man. Fumble that ball, lose that game. Right? You ain't got no business beating Tampa Bay and Kansas City and Philly. Lay down. Not lay down, but I'm just saying.
It did make me sick because, I want to be wrong about players like Legette.
Yeah.
Right? Like, those are the players where you're like, hey, you know what? He is pretty good. Mm-hmm. We don't need a number one. We have a number one. Like, he turned out to be very good. I want to be able to say that about him, but every week he keeps showing you who he is. That drop though, man. Like, I felt bad for him
because he caught it.
He caught it,
and then he just put it on the ground, like literally. He had it in both hands, and then he took one hand off of it, and he was like trying to tuck it away, and he just put it on the ground.
Because, granted, they lost the 2 games prior to that. They win that game against the Eagles on the road.
They're still alive.
That changes things. They're still alive, and I'm picking them to win every single week.
This is the other thing that came out of that game that Dan Franklin's talking about here. Jonathan Brooks, the 2nd-round pick, running back out of Texas, tore his ACL. So he's probably going to miss all of next season. He's asking, he said, it sucks about Brooks. Was it the same knee? Yeah, it was the same knee. So it's very, very, very sad for Jonathan. He's facing a long road back. And hopefully he takes all the time he needs and he comes back stronger. We've seen guys, it's rare, but we've seen guys come back from multiple tears in the same knee. And we've seen that in Carolina with Thomas Davis. He tore it 3 times in the same knee. Yeah. Frank Gore tore his ACL 3 times before he even got to the NFL, and then he played 37 years. Right. As far as I know, he's actually still playing up in Buffalo.
Yeah, I don't think he officially retired.
he sent his son home and was like, "Yo, slap a JR on my back. I'm gonna head out." Hopefully he comes back. Because he's shown he didn't get the ball a whole lot, but you could see the ability. It was evident in the few touches that he got.
Yeah. So yeah. Like you said, you'll probably miss all of next year. So I mean, that sucks. That sucks. But he's young. He's got plenty of time, and I think he for his career he'll be fine. He's got time to heal. He doesn't have to rush back. He's got the talent. I think he'll be fine. Like J.K. Dobbins, still. I mean, how many injuries has he had? It's still explosive.
Yeah, he looked great.
Those injuries don't affect a player like they used to anymore. You know. so you can recover and have a great career. So don't worry about it. You know.
Yeah, Raven saying 37 years. Yes, you going to tell me that wasn't Frank Gore out there on the Michael Irvin Hurricane teams? Come on, man. Right, Ivy saying more. It is closer to 47. I was being nice.
Yeah. It was crazy. Like after like his 8th year, I'm sitting here looking at him and I'm like, how's he even playing? Like he started before McGahee, who also tore his knee up. Right?
Dirty ass Buckeyes.
His knee went the other way. He had an excellent career. He played ahead of him. He played ahead of Clinton Portis. He played ahead of a bunch of running backs that had like it felt like 3, 4, 5 years before he came into the league.
Yeah, he was. They said because they had, like you said, Portis, they had McGahee, they had Edgerrin James, are all around the same time, and they were adamant at Miami that Frank Gore was better than all of them, and he's never really got to. He didn't get to stay out there, and then he got to the NFL, and he was just as good as those guys after 3 ACL tears.
That's crazy. He was on that Super Bowl team where we beat the 49ers. You know?
Yeah, he was on the losing side of it, but yeah.
Barely. Yeah. So, all right. So, B, who are you picking for the game? I know your heart says you need to lose. Now, okay, I want to say this about before you pick. I want to say this about Dallas. That the Simpsons game, they almost won. I think they beat Washington not that long ago. They're a little bit more competitive than I think people realize, right? It's possible that they could pull it out. What do you think?
Honestly, right now I'm leaning towards them winning this game. I don't
them
think,
as the Panthers.
The Panthers, yes. I don't think with the way they've been playing that they're going to lose out. I really don't think so. They're coming so close every week. I don't think that they're going to just lose the rest of the games. And I think this is a prime spot to get a win.
Yeah.
And then hopefully they settle down.
I agree. And, I know you don't believe in, wins carrying over to the next year, but I think they do somewhat like mentally, right? They want to get out of that loser mentality.
Yeah. And look, I'm not even saying it's a terrible thing if they win. I mean, yeah, obviously, with Bryce coming back, with Canales being the head coach, they want to start to turn things around right now, right? Obviously, they want to get Xavier to catch some passes, for God's sake, preferably in the end zone, right? Preferably a game winner to make. No, but like, it's just about at this point saying, hey, is it going to be worth it to move down X number of spots and lose out on the elite talent in this draft? And if they do, it'll suck, but it's kind of whatever. Because the most important thing is that you have your coach and you appear to have your quarterback.
And O-line.
Yeah, they've got the O-line as well.
So even if you end up picking middle of the pack in the first round, you can get a quality player.
Go ahead and get Ashton Jeanty, and it'll be fine.
Oh, okay. Panthers fans, I want to ask the Panthers fans in here. If you win a couple more games, which I expect you guys will, and you get pushed down, because I don't think you'll be middle of the pack at that point, but like you'll be closer to the middle of the pack. Ashton Jeanty is on the board. Do you take him?
This is going to be really interesting to hear people like respond to, because everybody always loves to say best player available, right? And if they slide down to like 15, don't tell me there's a better player available than Ashton Jeanty.
We gotta get Aaron Duncan on here. I'm gonna reach out to him. We got because he follows these players more than we do. Big football guy. Lots of knowledge of the game, and I would love to get his. I think he might be leaning more towards the defense.
Yeah, which is understandable. And where they're picking right now, there are elite defensive prospects. Like I said, Abdul Carter is there, Mason Graham is there, Will Johnson is there, the corner from Michigan. A little bit out of reach is Travis Hunter if you want to play him at corner. But like I said, if they start to move down, because right now right now they're actually, it looks like they're in third. Okay. But they're tied with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 other teams that have 3 wins. Okay. So if they win this weekend, that automatically drops them 5 or 6 spots. If they finish the season with, say, 5 wins, that could put them outside the top 10, or close to it. And at that point, are there very many players better than Ashton Jeanty? And yeah, you need help on defense, but you're getting some help back with Derek Brown. You're getting some help back with Shaq Thompson. You need some home run hitters on offense too.
Yeah,
and that is all Ashton Jeanty does.
Right. And you have the O-line to create holes for him. I think. Oh man, I know you signed Chuba Hubbard, but there's nothing wrong with having, a good running back and a better running back. Nothing wrong with that. I think the Ravens should have been doing that this whole time. Right? Like, we were arguing beginning of the year that they should have signed Saquon or Josh Jacobs over Derrick Henry.
Mm-hmm.
But the reality is, it didn't have to be one or the other. They could have signed 2. They could have signed 2 of those players.
Or they could give Keaton Mitchell the ball too. Because that was the thing that all Ravens fans were really excited about. We were excited about it too, seeing Derrick Henry, Keaton Mitchell, and Lamar on the field at the same time. What's the defense going to do with that? The answer is, doesn't matter because they're never going to see it.
Or at least bring back Dobbins and sign Henry or something like that. Mm-hmm. I just feel like if you're going to be that type of team where you're going to run the ball a lot, and running backs are cheaper nowadays, right? Sign 2 of them. Why not? Right? Why, when your top running back comes out the game, why can't you have another top running back in there to keep it going?
Yeah.
And we, and like to B's point with Keaton Mitchell, we were thinking that was going to be the case, but now he can't even get on special teams. So I don't know what's going on there.
Right. Ivy Sand says, who should win the Heisman? The answer is Travis Hunter. He's an All-American on offense and defense. Like there's no real argument against Travis Hunter, other than you don't want him to win it.
You don't think Jeanty? I don't know. I was thinking towards Jeanty.
Jeanty is having a phenomenal year, and the competition doesn't matter. He did it against Oregon too, right?
Yep.
But he's only playing offense.
That's why I'm curious to see how they do in the playoffs. Because who did they play? Did they play Penn State?
I forget who they have a bye. They've got a bye, so they're not playing in the first round. But no, as great as he's playing, he's only doing it on offense. Travis Hunter is an All-American on offense and defense.
Yeah, but Jeanty, I think Jeanty has at least the Oregon game has had better competition.
Killigan says Jeanty is not special. No, he is. He's very, very special. I understand if you're just talking from a statistical standpoint, that's fine. But you're not competing against players from previous years. Melvin Gordon isn't in this Heisman race. He is by far the best running back in the country right now.
Yeah, and you got to watch him run. Melvin Gordon didn't look like that.
No.
He looked good. He didn't look like Jeanty. Like B said, it doesn't matter what the competition is. He's going to get his yards, and he can block, and he can catch. They don't throw the ball to him as much. The previous years they did, but he can catch. He can do it all.
Cam, that is not the only reason that people are saying Jeanty. Colorado has played no one. That's why. That's a part of why people are not leaning towards Travis Hunter. They haven't played anybody. He's putting up fantastic numbers, and he's a very special player. But that's, again, not the only reason. They are in a conference with 0 good teams. They have potentially the number 1 and number 2 draft picks on their team.
Yeah,
number 1 and 2 overall picks on their team, and they couldn't win their conference. Ashton Jeanty ran Boise State into a first-round bye in the college football playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, because for those positions, you could say, hey, you know, wins shouldn't matter, but we know that wins play a factor into it. And losing to Kansas,
Hey, Cam. They only played Oregon. Did Colorado play Oregon? No, they didn't. They didn't play anybody.
Oregon's the number one team in the nation,
Right. They're
and they almost beat them.
They're in a somewhat weaker conference. The Big 12 is absolute trash. There are no good teams in the Big 12, Cam. But again, the point is they're in a trash conference and couldn't get to the conference championship game while having the potential number 1 and number 2 overall picks. Ashton Genty is over in Boise by himself, running them into a bye in the college football playoff. That is a big part of why people are saying Ashton Genty.
Yeah.
They did play somebody, though. They played Oregon, who Colorado did not play. You keep talking about Boise. Tell me who Colorado played.
Yeah, I think, I mean, like I said, you play who's in front of you, but, you know, wins and losses do matter in these races. And again, like, he's not it's not Travis Hunter's fault. I don't think he played bad in that game, if I recall, but they lost to Kansas, man. You know,
And Nebraska.
In Nebraska, like those losses, they hurt. They hurt you. Now, not saying that he's not going to win, but I'm just saying, like, that's usually what they use to factor into these things. Usually, just like the MVP race in the NFL, wins and losses matter, right? So, but yes, look. I mean, you know, Travis Hunter will probably win it. I just, saying give Ashton Genty some love. That's all I'm saying. Okay. And if the Panthers are picking 15th, go ahead and draft that man. All right.
Hey Cam. You're typing a whole lot. I said, tell me who Colorado played. You don't seem to have an answer for that one.
He said they give the Heisman to someone in the second,
in the
SEC or Big Ten. Yeah. I mean, you're not really making your case, Killer. And you don't need to, because you both agree that Travis Hunter should win the Heisman. All right. We're just telling you the things that might factor into him not winning it. That's all. All right. Well, B, this week. It should be pretty simple post game shows.
Cam, listen, you're gonna get one more shot at this. You're gonna get one more shot. Tell you who Boise played. I already told you who Boise played. They played one team. They played Oregon. Tell me who Colorado played. If that's not the next thing you type, don't bother responding.
Wow. That's no way to treat Killer.
I mean, look, if you can't answer the question, you can't answer the question. Don't filibuster around it. Just say, no, they didn't play anybody either.
Yeah, Colorado didn't play anybody, and that's fine. That's fine. Like, he still played great.
Mm-hmm.
But damn, man, like I watched that Oregon game. They had nothing.
Right.
For Genty,
they didn't beat Oregon, but he torched their defense.
They almost beat Oregon.
They did almost beat Oregon. But
yeah. All right. Okay, we are about to hit an hour. Hit that like button if you're new in here. Hit the subscribe button. Check out our merch. Okay, LBHTShow.com/shop. The holiday season is here. I know all of you didn't finish your shopping, so go over there. Check out something. Get something for your loved ones. Also, the gift of Patreon. Patreon.com/LBHT Show. All right, for as little as $5. If you really want to get your loved one something nice, get them one of these LBHT crew coins. There you go. It's focused in.
It will not make your
head
disappear like that.
Yeah, no, it won't disappear. I'm sorry, I can't make that happen in real life. But that's for the $10 tier. All right, and you get access to our overtime show. You get access to our Discord. All kinds of perks. So well worth the price of admission. All right, you can gift that out to somebody, or if you haven't signed up, gift it to yourself. All right, treat yourself. All right. So, all right, we're doing court of public opinion next.
Yeah, and then we getting up out of here.
We got picks and submitted questions.
We're getting up out of here. No submitted questions. We'll do the picks real quick, rapid fire.
All right,
Let me get
listen,
him up out of here.
ladies and gentlemen, this is not a real court, allegedly. But it is the court that you need. Court of public opinion is about to begin. All rise, all rise. Court is now in session. What do we have here, B?
We have that clown Brett Favre back in the news. Unfortunately, he may not be the biggest clown in this story. I guess we'll have to see. But what happened is essentially, I'm not sure whether they're like a convention or something like that. Brett Favre ran into Mark Gastineau, who, if you don't know, is part of the New York Sack Exchange, because funny. And he was.
They thought they were so cool when they came up with that too.
I know. He was the record holder for sacks in the season up until Michael Strahan broke his record.
Order. Daniel Franklin says Favre, he's guilty.
But
order.
You know what? I appreciate you doing that, because now it reminds me that I cannot make his last name the hashtag. No, but Michael Strahan, if you weren't around and watching live like we were, Michael Strahan needed, I think it was just the one sack in his last game against the Packers, last game of the season, to break the record. And all day, his little buddy Brett was baiting him and just throwing the ball away real fast so he couldn't get a sack, and kind of laughing at him and blah blah blah. End of the game, like the game is decided. He hikes the ball, runs a naked bootleg, and Michael Strahan's the only one there. Brett kind of lays down, and Strahan kind of jumped on top of him, and he gets the sack, breaks the record. Not really a big controversy. Some people talked about, he gave it to him, blah blah blah, whatever. But now, all these years later, a couple decades later, Mark Gastineau confronted Brett Favre about it, and kind of laid into him a little bit about how he hurt him. He was hurting him by doing that, by giving away that sack record to Michael Strahan. And Brett Favre didn't really understand what he meant. And he went on Twitter and sort of apologized. He thought about it more, and how the players didn't make as much money back then when Gastineau was playing as they do now, and how being the all-time sack leader for a single season would make him more marketable or desirable as a speaker. More, he can demand higher prices when he goes to these conventions, and make his merch more valuable, like his autograph stuff and everything. So he kind of apologized for that, but said that he didn't give the sack away to Michael Strahan. He ran the bootleg, and he thought he was going to be alone, and Strahan was there. The game was over. Didn't want to take a hit, so he just kind of laid down.
As he shouldn't. Now, okay. I didn't upload the video. One, because I was being lazy. Two, because I wanted you to see the whole context. I didn't want to break it up in little 7-second segments, and if I put the longer one, I would risk copyright strikes. I'm not sure where it's from. In chat, you can help us out. I'm not sure where that clip is from. Is it from Hard Knocks? I'm not sure where it's from, but go online, check it out. We can even retweet it in our on Twitter and Blue Sky. Okay, at LBHT Show, follow us. But check out the clip. It's at a convention. Favre's going up to shake his hand. He won't shake Favre's hand. First of all, don't ever disrespect me like that. If you don't shake my hand, then you just we already have a problem. Yeah. And then when he's talking to him, he's doing the finger pointing thing. Don't point your finger in my face either. Okay, these are all things that are going to cause an incident.
Newsflash, buddy, we're not friends.
Yeah. Don't point your finger at me and don't talk down on me. But he's telling him, he's like, I want my sack back or something like that, right? Pause. Okay. And Brett is stunned. Like, Brett doesn't understand what's going on. He thinks it's a joke.
Yeah.
Right. And he's like, if you sack me, you probably hurt me. And he's like, well, I'm hurt, Brett. I'm hurt. And Brett just sitting there like,
this is weird.
What did I do? Right? He's like, did I steal your money too? Look, okay, listen. We all know Brett Favre's a dirtbag. Okay, I am not the dirtbag that Brett Favre is. If I were in that situation, I would tell Mark, I don't care.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care about you. I don't care if you're hurting. I don't care if you're mad. You're not me. If you didn't want that to happen, you should have gotten one more sack when you were playing. Okay. I don't want Michael Strahan, who's 248 pounds, who can move my right tackle out the way with his right arm, to hit me. It's the end. The game is over. I don't want to take a hit. You know who always used to go down before he get hit?
Peyton Manning.
Tom Brady.
Peyton Manning would go fetal if he saw you get past his line. not even close enough. Like if nobody was open and he looked down and you got past his blocker, he's curling up with the ball and he's like, "Yo, you better just tap my shoulder."
You can say, "Hey, he gave him the sack." Even if I decided he's my friend and I want him to have the record, that's my business. And if that hurts your business, I don't care. I'm not responsible for you. We're obviously not friends. It's been 20 some odd years and we're just not having a conversation. Guess what? We're not friends. Don't bring this up to me because you couldn't make money. All right? You're not my problem.
Yeah.
Now, if I'm Brett Favre, I really don't care. You know I rob people, bro. I robbed a whole state. You know what I'm saying? I don't care at all. In fact, what's in your pockets? Run your pockets right now.
Yeah, I robbed the poor. You think I care if the rich are hurting a little bit? But no, look, I put up the poll there. Hashtag Brett if you think that Brett is in the wrong. Hashtag Mark if you think Mark is the clown here and he shouldn't have been, accosting Brett at this public event and getting himself recorded. Brett is very good at going and speaking to his audience on Twitter, to his followers, and it was like a 9 or 10 tweet thread where he kind of played both sides of it a little bit, and he was like, "I was just out there trying to have fun." Like Brett.
Okay, wait. I
right?
I just want to be clear.
Yes,
we're voting for who's the dirtbag in this situation.
For who's guilty. Hashtag Brett if you think Brett's guilty. Hashtag Mark if you think Mark is guilty. He's going out there and he was talking about that and how he just wanted to have fun, like he always played the game. And man, Mark was such a great player, even though he didn't get to play with Mark. They weren't ever teammates or anything like that. But he had the 20 sack season. He had another 20 sack season. Then he had another season where he had 19. He should be in the Hall of Fame and all this nonsense. I'm like, Brett, just say what you're really thinking, which is, Mark, don't ever put your hands on me again. Right? Because I told him straight up, yeah, I'm friends with Michael Strahan and I gave him your record. What?
Yeah.
What are you going to do about it?
Now move.
Right. Had you come up to me with some respect, maybe I would have cut you in when we moved from Mississippi to Alabama with my scheme next year. But no. Right? Get the hell out of my way and shut your damn mouth, all right? Nobody knows who you are. Nobody cares who you are. And like you said, if you wanted to have that forever, you should have got more sacks. If you wanted to be on this circuit making money like this, and make more than you're making, maybe you should have played better in the other years of your career. It's not Brett's fault. It's not Brett's responsibility. Brett is responsible for a lot of things that he's not taking care of. You can't expect him to take care of something that he's not actually responsible for.
Well, also, I don't know Mark Gastineau. He might be a nice guy. I don't know. He seems like a jerk in that clip, right?
Yeah.
But that's just a clip. You clearly haven't spoken to Brett before that, right? It didn't seem like they knew each other at all.
Right.
That's how you start the conversation. Somebody you don't really know. He goes to shake your hand. You can't shake his hand and say, "Hey, I want to talk to you about that sack." Right? Like, hey, what happened there? It's been bothering me. I just got to know what happened. And maybe, and look, whether it's true or not, he's going to tell you that same story that he told you on Twitter. Hey, this is what happened. I just didn't want to get hit there, whatever. You believe it or you don't. It doesn't matter. It's been decades since that happened. So you may have been upset about it initially, but to cry about it 20 years later, that is 100% on you.
Yes.
but you start out not shaking his hand and then do the finger pointing. And I hate that I'm defending somebody like Brett Favre, but damn, man, like grow up.
Yeah. I mean, that's really all there is to that. Like that, it's such a weird story. It's weird.
Yeah.
But that's the end of that one.
And Matt D. Hashtag Marky
I know,
space
he was
Mark.
so
The
close.
vote does not
He was so
count.
close. It's Marky hashtag Mark is what you're trying to go home at. I wasn't going to bring it up, but you know, it is what it is. I guess.
Are we doing a second one?
The second one here is somehow even more ridiculous. This is the people versus the Ohio GOP rep. I don't know if any of y'all saw it. I mean, clearly anyone who actually saw this live would be in a mental health institute at this point. They'd be undergoing some trauma care. But when Michigan and Ohio State played at Ohio State, Michigan won the game, and Michigan took their flag that has the big M on it, and then they tried to plant it on the O for Ohio State at midfield. You might be thinking there's more to that story. There is not. That's all they did. Ohio State players tried to fight them. They got into a little pushing match, and then they sent everybody home. Thought that was the end of it. You know, there was some unnecessary hand wringing from Kirk Herbstreit and his ilk, but it was happening all over the country. And one of our brave, courageous elected officials stood up today and said he's going to do something about it.
Yes, Josh Williams is his name. Ohio State rep Josh Williams introduced the O.H.I.O. Sportsmanship Act. Okay, basically saying it's a felony to.
Stop. Repeat that. A felony.
A felony offense to plant a flag in the center of the Ohio Stadium. Not any other stadium, just that stadium, right? Because I'm guessing he's a. I hope he's an alum. I hope he's not just a fan.
I think he's just a politician in Ohio.
Yeah,
that's really what it is.
And he's a politician that doesn't watch football, because I can't imagine any Ohio State fan co-signing that, right? Like you're like it's like you get beat up by a bully and your mom comes out to try to defend you. Mom, you're not helping. You're hurting. You're hurting me right now. Now you're just showing everybody that I'm a mama's boy, right? Like I you can't come out here and do that. You know, like you can't fight this fight for me. I gotta stand up for myself. That's what he did.
Yeah.
And I mean, first of all, I don't like when politicians get involved with sports like that and try to make legislation like that. That tells me that you're doing absolutely nothing while you're in office. Yeah. Complete joke. And I mean, bro, like this isn't going to help Ohio State. Like B said, that if this law passed, that would mean that they may not ever win again against Michigan. Okay, like you're taking the fun out of these rivalries. Yes, they were mad. I wouldn't want anybody to plant a flag on my field either after getting upset, right?
Yeah.
They were trying to get a bye in the playoffs, and Michigan ruined it. But that's what makes a rivalry, right? Ohio State beat down Michigan for years. Right? It goes in waves. Now it's Michigan's turn, okay? So, the next time you beat them, you can do the same thing, and it is what it is, right? It's just like in the NFL, right? Titans beat us. They dancing on our logo and everything, right? We couldn't, they stand at the 50-yard line, and we didn't appreciate that, right? Came back the next year, beat them, and we danced on their logo. I thought it was funny that some Titans fans were upset about that. I'm like, damn, man, you guys literally just did this last year, right? It ain't that big of a deal, But that's how you make rivalries, man. That's what makes the game fun. Don't take the fun out of the sport. Yeah, the fighting. We talked about the fighting before. I don't like to see it get to that point, but ain't that big of a deal either.
It's not. There's no real fights in football.
Yeah.
Not really.
So,
So let me go ahead and put up the poll here. Hashtag people. Hashtag rep. So hashtag people if you think, no, we're the wrong ones. We do need to be reined in. Hashtag rep if you rightly believe that this dude's a clown, trying to capitalize off the story and just going about it in the wrong way. I have one point before I even give my opinion on it. If you have to legislate sportsmanship, it's not sportsmanship. So you failed already right out of the gate. But obviously, this is unbelievably ridiculous. Like, if anything, if you lose a rivalry game on your home field, security should keep your team on the sidelines and allow the opponents to do whatever the hell they feel like with your stadium. Okay? Because they own it now. Right? They came in there, they beat you. They were unranked. Michigan's a 500 team. You're in the top 5, trying to get to the conference championship game, trying to get that bye in the playoffs, and you got beat. And you looked awful. Yeah, it's their field now. It's not yours anymore. Not till next year. This is unbelievably ridiculous.
No. Those 3, I think they came from me. I put in the chat who's guilty, hashtag people or hashtag rep, but it posted on YouTube, Twitch, and Facebook. So this app might be picking.
You gotta put a space in between the hashtags and the thing when you're.
I did. Posting. It counted each one, so it's
I'm
3.
saying with a space between hashtag and the word when you're posting it, so it doesn't count it as a.
Right.
So I was about to say we got 3 people in here.
I'm trying to give
saying no, this is correct. We got to shut this show down.
I'm trying to give them instructions so they do it properly. See, Matt got it this time, right? He got it this time. All right. I want to make sure they type it the right way. So disregard those 3. Nobody voted for against the people. All right.
Daniel asked, why doesn't he make it a felony for home fans to tear down the goalposts? That's actually dangerous. Well, that would be doing his job. He's not interested in that. He don't want any part of that.
Okay. And okay, let's say the bill passed, which it wouldn't pass, right? This is just for show. What's that going to change, B? Like, are flags not going to get planted on the field anymore?
I would guarantee you that the very first time they lose, the opponent plants their flag on the field and says, "Come get me." What are you gonna do? You gonna sashay over in Ann Arbor, throw the cuffs on me and extradite me to Ohio because I planted the flag? You ain't doing nothing.
A felony, yo. Like, how do you? Hey, what are you in here for, son? I planted a flag on Ohio State midfield, like, and it's only for the midfield, right?
I believe so. Which is
so. What if they go to the end zone?
Yeah.
What if they go to the end zone and plant a flag?
So it's such nonsense. But that's what this country is now. All like everybody's just doing things for attention. Nobody's driving the bus anymore. Like, we're just all on our phones riding into hell. That's all right, I guess.
Ladies and gentlemen, don't vote these people into office. If this is your local rep, you need to primary him. All right. The next time he's up, I don't care. He's a Republican. If you're a Republican and this is the type of stuff he's doing, next time he's up for election, don't vote for him. No. I don't want my elected officials to be wasting time on stuff like this.
Like, I barely tolerate it when the mayors do their little fake bets before games. Like,
I was just about to say,
I don't know. Okay, yeah, okay. Your interns put this together, but you still took the 30 seconds to record the video. Like, I don't know.
They're human beings. They have fun. That's fine, right? But you're trying to make policy here.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this isn't a game. This isn't a joke, right? Like, we voted for you. We got you elected so you can make change in our lives to impact us. And if you're spending time on something insignificant as a game, that means you're not taking your job seriously. You can't be in office.
But this is the same party that largely is the party who complains about America being soft and complains about participation trophies and things like that. And you're trying to pass a law that says you can't taunt me.
You beat me. I'm calling the cops.
Ridiculous.
You beat me and stunned on me. I'm calling the cops. I'm telling.
Utterly ridiculous.
All right.
That's it. That's it for this. We're gonna go ahead and switch it up, and we are going to do our picks. Did you upload the schedule?
I do. Go to the scene. I have it here. I have it.
The correct scene here. Hold up.
You want me to pull it up?
I got it.
Okay. All right. Let's take this down. All right. And I will add the new one. Give me 1 second, ladies and gentlemen. All right, here we go. All right, we're gonna do these. There are no submitted questions this week. I'll put the post out early so you guys can get your questions in.
Like hell, you will.
Yes, I will. All right. But we'll be over on Patreon after this. Patreon.com/LBHT Show. We'll be there for the overtime show. Come hang out with us. If you like this last story, we can talk about it some more on the overtime show. We're also going to be talking about the CEO killer, who is from the Baltimore area. I forgot to ask our nephew if he knew the guy. He's the same age as our nephew. They both went to Towson around the same time. I think they might have had class together.
I don't think so. All right, let's go. Here we go. Hashtag rapid fire. We're going to get through these picks and get up out of here. Thursday night, LA Rams at the San Francisco 49ers. The Rams, fresh off of the beating of your newly crowned MVP, Josh Allen, going on the road against the reeling San Francisco 49ers. I'm going to take LA.
I think this is going to be a very good game. The 49ers had a very good win against the Bears. They beat them down.
It was against the Bears.
And this is a rivalry game. Give me the Rams.
Kansas City at Cleveland. I can't really justify this, but I'm taking Cleveland in the upset.
I don't see Cleveland being a one to knock them off. I'm going Kansas City.
Cincinnati at Tennessee. I don't care about this game at all. I'm taking the Bengals. It's the Titans. It's the Bengals. Joe Burrow is going to continue his run. Washington at New Orleans. Derek Carr's out for this one. For the rest of the year, it looks like. Taking Washington, obviously.
Washington.
Baltimore at the New York Giants. I think this should be a pretty comfortable win for Baltimore. I'm going to say that they win this one. I'm going to say 34-10.
I'm going to say 38-10.
Okay, it's not one up you. Dallas at Carolina. Carolina's lost 3 in a row. 3 games they arguably should have won. Dallas is trotting out Cooper Rush. At this point, also, I think they should probably just throw Trey Lance in there and see what he has. But
yes,
assuming Cooper Rush is the quarterback, I'm going to take Carolina, and I'm going to take Carolina 24-20.
Oh, I don't think it's going to be that close. It'll be competitive somewhat, but I think the Panthers are a focused team. They're playing a lot more disciplined football, and I don't think they're going to let up. I will say Carolina gets 4 touchdowns. They win 28-17.
New York Jets at the Jacksonville Jaguars. This is just kind of a repeat of Cincinnati and Tennessee. I'm going to take Jacksonville, though, because Aaron Rodgers does not play for them.
He's not playing?
No, he doesn't play for Jacksonville, so I'm picking them.
Oh, I'm going Jets.
Okay, at your own peril. Miami at Houston. Houston has been a sad, just a ghost of what they were last season. They've got the second best quarterback out of that draft, and it's just struggle city. Miami is making their playoff push, and I think they keep it going on the road.
I got Houston.
Indianapolis at Denver. Denver's been playing pretty well. Bo Nix has been playing very well. They're 8-5. Indianapolis 6-7. They're probably not going to the playoffs, but they're not going to be out this week because they're getting the win.
I think I'm going Indy too.
Buffalo at Detroit. This is the moment for all the Josh Allen fans, all of the truthers out there who think he should be MVP, think he should have won it last year. This is your moment to go on the road and prove it, and Detroit is going to win going away.
Yeah, I think Detroit's going to win.
Pittsburgh at Philadelphia. Philadelphia, one of the best teams in the league, but they've got a fraud at quarterback, so I'm taking Pittsburgh on the road.
Wow. Give me Philly.
New England at Arizona. New England, again, one of the worst and least entertaining teams in the league. Arizona, they're not too much better, but they are better. So I'm going to take them at home.
Yeah, I got Arizona. What's their record?
I believe they're 6-7. Maybe not quite that good, though.
Just still in the hunt, though, for a playoff spot.
Yeah, technically.
Yeah.
We're all in the hunt, right?
Yeah.
The Arizona Cardinals are 6-7, yes. They're third place in their division.
Yep, give me the Cardinals.
Next up, we have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at the LA Chargers. Baker and the Bucs have been playing very well. J.K. Dobbins is still out, so I'm going to take Tampa on the road.
I'm taking the Chargers.
Green Bay at Seattle. Green Bay had some late season magic last year. Second half of the season magic, really, with Jordan Love and all of his receivers who are all all pro caliber, it seems like 6 or 7 of them. Has not really translated this season. They just seem to be half a beat off. So I'm going to take Seattle at home.
Oh, yeah, this is going to be a tough one. I think I'm going with Seattle as well.
Now, arguably the worst Monday Night Football lineup I've ever seen. We got 2 games. Chicago at Minnesota. Minnesota wins that one easy.
Yes.
And then we got Atlanta at Vegas. And Kirk Cousins has been playing like Kirk Cousins. But Vegas did just watch their quarterback get stretchered off the field in an air cast, and they're going to be starting Desmond Ridder. So I'm taking the Falcons on the road.
I'm going Vegas.
And that is it. We are done.
All right. We are at the end. Submitted questions. All right. Look, you guys are used to relax, B. You guys are used to you guys are used to seeing us post put the post up and then you put your questions on YouTube, which is fine. Sometimes B forgets or not forgets to put the post up. You can still submit your questions. All right. It can be through email, LBHTShow@gmail.com. It can be on social media. We're everywhere at LBHT Show. Just let us know it's a submitted question. Hashtag submitted questions, or even in our Discord. If you're not in Discord, you can submit your questions in there, and we will read it on air.
That's the spirit, Jay.
All right, but that's it. We're going to get over to the overtime show. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Man, I appreciate you guys coming in here on a Wednesday. Look, holiday season is almost here. All right, well, holiday season is here, okay? And you guys need some last-minute gifts. Go over to lbhtshow.com/shop and get you some nice merch. I think we even have a holiday sweater still up.
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah, Microphone Man for holidays. So go ahead and check it out. All right. All right, B. Are you ready?
I am ready.
He is ready. Thank y'all so much for hanging out with us. We will see you on Victory Sunday, right after our wins. All right. It'll be a quick stream because both teams are going to win. So it won't be a whole lot to talk about, hopefully. All right. Have a great night. We will see you next time. Peace.